TikTok set to be banned nationwide in US? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I'm out of a job. All my internet clout. I'm gonna lose all my clout. I'm gonna have to get a real job. My TikTok clout. Oh, hi. When did you get there? How long have you been there? Did you hear the news? I know. TikTok's getting banned. TikTok is probably going to be banned. Now, I know you've heard this several times over the past 5 years, but I'm serious. I got furloughed from my serving job in 2020 because of COVID for 4 months, and for that entire 4 months, I would wake up every day and crank out TikToks. I was getting unemployment then, so I could pretend I was getting paid for it. Eventually, I was asked to return to my serving job, and the week I returned, Trump announced that he was going to ban TikTok. Ban TikTok? I had just put my entire Tikusi into my account. I was a nervous wreck pacing around the restaurant. Luckily, nothing came of it at that time, and I've continued to create and grow my TikTok since then. This past Friday, a federal appeals court voted to uphold the law passed by President Biden back in April that states TikTok must sell its U.S. shares to a U.S.-based company or face a nationwide ban on January 19th, 2025. I also just want to remind everyone that this law was included in essentially a package deal bill that also included providing foreign aid to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. It is so strange that in the eyes of the government, TikTok was not the main focus when they passed this package. Now, if you're like me, you may be thinking to yourself, I don't really care who has my data. But guess who does? A lot. The US government. This is not the government wanting to protect you from ByteDance or China. It's the government wanting your data instead. The US wants TikTok to be sold so bad. They want a US-based company to have control so that they have control. Not to mention, the reach TikTok gives US citizens terrifies them. I know that I am much more educated on things like the conflicts in the Middle East and the recent uh-ohs in South Korea, and many, many more things because of TikTok. And I can imagine that does not make the US government very happy. So what do they push for? A nationwide ban on the app, of course. Countries like India started banning TikTok way back in 2019. And in March of 2023, France and Great Britain banned TikTok from all government employee devices. I wish the US would follow in these same footsteps. It feels so weird that this entire nation is facing heavier censorship than other leading countries. Now, apparently, this isn't exactly the end just yet, even though it definitely 100% feels like it is. A spokesperson for the U.S. branch of TikTok announced that they would be appealing the TikTok ban to the Supreme Court. The best case scenario is the Supreme Court takes the case and the ban is pushed back to April so that the case can play out. Worst scenario, SCOTUS doesn't take the case at all. And they don't have to, since the law was already passed by Congress and President Biden. If this happens, there are just a few other options for TikTok. The first is to sell to a US company, and Meta is at the top of the buyer's list. The second option would be to wait and see if President-elect Trump can do anything. Trump, even though he was the first to initially want to ban TikTok, said that he will save the app when his presidency starts. President Trump is sworn into office the day after the ban is scheduled to take place. He could either announce that TikTok has done enough to divest from ByteDance, which could be backed with evidence from Project Texas, which walls off American data being sent to China, or he could instruct his attorney general not to enforce the law at all. Currently, if everything plays out and TikTok does get banned, essentially the App Store, the Google Play Store have to take TikTok down. And if they don't, they're hit with fines that are extremely expensive and definitely not worth it. But if Trump instructs his attorney general not to enforce the law, then they can have the app up. Who knows? Kind of shady. Who knows? Important things to note here is that no matter what happens, you don't have a say in who your data goes to. That's what this fight is all about. And you don't even get to decide who gets to creep in your phone and take your information. That is where your anger should lie. People are fighting over your information openly on a global stage, and you will never see any compensation for it. If the government is going to get all high and mighty about protecting your data when it comes to TikTok, then we also need to hold these other corporations accountable. Hopefully someday there will be better legislation in place for data collecting and user rights, but right now we are in the wild west of data farming. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. No, it's not. I suggest you draw fast. Draw fast! That's how it's done. The most precious thing about TikTok is its algorithm. The TikTok algorithm is special because it's organic. Your For You page really is built brick by brick. Wait, don't look at that. Don't worry about that. I built this brick by brick, okay? Okay, why don't you mind your business? Instagram prioritizes showing you content that you've already interacted with. Can you think of some creators you haven't seen on Instagram in a while? You probably haven't seen them because you just missed 2 or 3 of their posts, so now Instagram never shows you their stuff. Now, Instagram does have the Explore page, which you can use to find new content you haven't seen, but then Instagram will show you an insane amount of one thing that you like on the Explore page. A month ago, I looked at a lot of Alice Madness Returns stuff on Instagram because I was cosplaying Alice. And even now, when I go to my Explore page, I see 3 or 4 Alice memes. This isn't bad, but instead of showing me new content made within the past week, I'm seeing Alice memes from 3 months ago because I liked a bunch of Alice stuff 1 month ago. TikTok emphasizes showing people viral videos as well. I don't see viral things on Reels. I've never seen Brittany Broski pop up with a viral new video. I've never seen a trend like the Bones dog start on Reels. This is one of the biggest draws to TikTok. Everyone has a chance to be creative and have their creativity reach all kinds of people. Something I've utilized a lot more are the different pages on TikTok. There are now a friends page, a following page, and a For You page, and I like all of them. On my For You page, I'm always seeing new art, new creators, and new content, but on my following or friends pages, I see familiar faces. I wish Reels or Shorts would implement something similar. I want an alternative to my For You page where I'm guaranteed to find new people, new art, and new content. On Instagram, your current followers need to overly engage with your posts in order for them to hit the Explore page. But on TikTok, your videos will always hit the For You page for some kind of amount of time. No initial follower interaction required. I think the thing that bums me out the most is how many creatives we're going to miss out on because of this ban. Streamers like Queso and Sketch hit virality on TikTok. I found Chapel Roan through TikTok way back when Red Wine Supernova was hitting For You pages in the spring of 2023. And who knows if she would be where she is now without the app. I also think about my favorite comedians like Brittany Broski and Bistro Huddy, who have entertained me for years now. And I know they're not going away, and I will make a point to support them elsewhere, but would I have ever found these creators I love so much without TikTok? How many artists' masterpieces will never see the spotlight because their art is suppressed by Reels? How many future Quesos will go unknown because their funny clips never make it past their followers? Most importantly, we in the US will have far less access to the outside world because of this. We will have less access to vital information and opinions from people outside of the country. To combat this loss of information, I encourage you to take the time to start reading more. It's important that we still stay on top of being informed, even if it takes a little more effort. I think long-form YouTube-style content is about to make a big comeback. Not that it was ever really on a downward spiral. I consume way less live streaming content than I used to, and I really enjoy video essays nowadays, which is what has inspired me to put more effort into this channel. You must find creators who will consistently inform you about what's happening in the world. Mainstream media has been losing viewership at record speed since the election because Americans don't trust the mainstream media corporations anymore. And I'm not saying to trust me and everything I say. I'm just saying that now is the time to use your brain and stay on top of these things. People like to say TikTok causes brain rot in a lot of people, and I don't disagree. But I also think a lot of people are much more educated on very important things because of the constant feeding of new information that comes from TikTok. Whether that's morally correct information or not is up for discussion. Either way, it has still informed the masses at lightning speed. Will I miss out on opportunities because my biggest platform is about to be yoinked from under me? I think about this every single day right now. I've put the most effort into my TikTok, and I'm proud that I've taken the time to branch out to places like Twitch and Instagram, but my biggest trophy is about to be taken. And all unemployment, e-celeb jokes aside, I'm allowed to be sad about that. As a micro, tiny, itty bitty little loser on the internet, I am bummed about this. It's my fault I put more effort into short form content these past 4 years. But I had fun. I enjoyed making little lip syncs and cosplaying. I even enjoyed being a toxic little sped up Discord girl for part of it. And of course, I can still create elsewhere, but nothing feels the same. I'm proud of my TikTok, and I'm even more proud of the amazing people I've met and the connections I've made through TikTok. I'm hopeful that something positive happens to TikTok here in the US, but I'd much rather start saying my goodbyes now and be happily surprised if everything works out. Until the unknown happens, you can find me everywhere else. If you haven't yet, you should join my Discord server. We're working on a TikTok Hall of Fame where community members can submit their favorite TikToks of all time. That's about all I have to say today. If you feel differently about this ban or you have other ways of coping, let me know, because I really need some positivity right now. Thank you for watching. Bye!